Hey everyone, this is Corey with Stafford's EDC, and today we're going to be taking a look at this little guy. This was sent for pass around by Traditional Pocket Knives as C. Reisner. I'm not sure exactly how you say his last name, but this here is a MW Steelworks Old Crow in Purple Haze Fat Carbon. Now you can see the sheath here. The end is just glued together. You have these other rivets here. No mounting styles. It came with this black band on it. This is sent to me by Lefty EDC to check out, though it was given to him by Traditional Pocket Knives to pass around. I added this second rubber band here, just doubled up for a little bit more retention, because as it stands, this sheath is really not meant for carry. I think it's more for storage and shipping's sake. But anyway, let's take a quick look at this guy. I put a little bit of use on this, and I just kind of want to give you guys an overview before sending this on to the next person. But yeah, let's take a look at this little fixie here. So you can see it's got a little bit of schmutz on it, and I got to clean this off before I send it over to the next. But you have a blade steel of 8670 high carbon steel. I'm reading everything directly off of the Traditional Pocket Knives website here, by the way. You can see the MW there, the logo. This Purple Haze Fat Carbon. You know, the colors don't get picked up super well in like this harsh LED lighting. But you can see the purples in there. It's certainly got a lot of purple going on. It is just tough to see it at certain angles. That's for sure. But yeah, very pretty handle material. You know, fat carbon's not generally speaking, it's not my thing. But this is a very pretty knife. This is small. You can see it's pretty tiny. This is 5.9 inches overall, so very small in terms of a fixed blade. 3 fingers. You're not going to get a fourth on here. I wear a large size glove. You can see here, you know, my pinky might just touch this little area, but it's a 3-finger knife. No jimping or anything. You have a 3.2 inch handle to give you an idea of an actual measurement, and we're a little bit thick at 0.55 inches, but I think that really helps fill this out in the hand because you don't feel like you need that. You don't feel like you need that 4th finger on here. Weighs 3.5 ounces. The pins are black micarta. I think I said overall length is 5.9 inches. Blade stock thickness is 0.16 inches in a 3-inch blade, so it's actually a reasonable size blade for this size handle. You know, don't let that fool you. Not the whole thing is cutting edge, but still a 3-inch blade is what I would say most people use for EDC. You know, roughly, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. You can see the satin finish on here, obviously full tang, and these are made in 2022 here. That's about all the info I have, so we'll talk a little bit about use. Ergos are good. They're, you know, it's a little bit chunky at 0.55 inches, but that helps fill it out. With only having 3 fingers on this helps, you know, really fill the hand and makes it comfortable to use. Now, I will say this, with this high carbon steel, the existing edge on it did eventually start to hang up in cardboard pretty fast, though I did not strap this back. You know, I can just feel it doesn't have its keenness up in this area with the belly here, which we will talk about in just a moment, more about this blade. But yeah, that high carbon steel, it's not the most amazing thing. It's probably run in somewhere in the mid to upper 50s in HRC. So it's not super hard. It's not going to hold an edge for a crazy long time, but it'll work for you. You know, you're going to be using this for light tasks. This is certainly not a beater knife or anything like that you're asking to do something crazy. This blade shape I like. It's very Oz Machine Company Roosevelt-esque. I love a nice drop point. A lot of belly is nice too for slicing. As you know, slice through and your hand rotates, you still maintain contact with that cutting edge, which is great. But this tip leaves a bit to be desired. Difficulty piercing for sure. You know, it's just very round up here. And because of that, and because of this not having an extremely keen edge on it, just makes for not a very good, not great penetration when needed. So tip work on this, if you needed to do like fine detailed work, isn't great. You probably need to put a really fresh edge on this. I would imagine, to get any kind of use out of that. And of course, to use just that tip only, you'd have to be at like a really extreme angle, like almost vertical, because anything tipped lower and you're working with the front edge instead of just the tip. So this style of point, really not for piercing, really not for fine detail work, but that's kind of more of a design thing, not necessarily a flaw of the knife itself. Now, with this steel being pretty soft, I'm sure it would strap back with absolutely no issue. You know, a couple passes on each side, and this would be good to go. Now, would I recommend this? If you really like this style and you think you'd love this, there's a few variations available on the Traditional Pocket Knives website. There's the fat carbon version here, and then let me just take a quick peek. There is also a white linen micarta and a neon orange camo carbon. So those are the three versions that they have of this available. The two fat carbon versions are on sale for $129.50, so just under $130 USD. And then the white linen micarta version is only $101.50. These are, USA made. They're made in, I believe it's in South Carolina, Pendleton, South Carolina, by Marcus Williamson, which is where your MW comes from. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, I will leave a link down below to Traditional Pocket Knives. I'll leave a link just to his general website, but this, again, is the MW Old Crow. MW Steelworks Old Crow. Yeah, so with all that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on this guy. As, it's a neat little knife. It's not something I can see myself buying, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with this knife. It's definitely going to be appealing to somebody. I thought I wanted to, I figured I'd check this thing out and see kind of what it was all about. And, little fixies are cool. I prefer something a little bit larger than this, and that just solidifies that fact for me. I handled a Chickadee before, Jake B Creates. I handled Lefty EDC's Chickadee. Way too small for me. This is obviously larger than the Chickadee and is still too small. I even bought this recently, which is being sold. This is a Boris Blades Valkyrie D, and this is still okay size-wise, though I feel like I would want maybe a touch less handle and a bit more blade. So not exactly a perfect combo, and yeah, I don't like the sheath on this either. That being said, though, I wanted to check out this little fixed blade and kind of get my thoughts and, see if it piqued my interest or not. And, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one down below. And I will get this one off to the next person so you can see, I believe it's Puerto Rican with a Knife who's getting this next. So you can see his thoughts on this little fixed blade as well from MW Steelworks. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. I rambled on and on, as I always do. And have a great rest of your day. Take care.